Hey, what's going on guys, Zev here, and today we're going to be discussing the plus-sized elf sequel manga, Second Helping. For those not tuned in with this series, it's gone through quite an interesting spiral. You see, the first volume was released June 26, 2017, and had a following 7 volumes released before the license with its publisher, Wani Books, came to an end, thus leaving the original run at an abrupt, indefinite halt. A little while after, the series author announced that a sequel series was in the works. After another waiting period, the individual chapters of the new series became public and scanslated for all to enjoy. It was clear that Second Helping is supposed to be a step up in terms of quality. Things got a bit more crisp and detailed, and the babes got bustier, as well as them being released in full color. The story isn't all that different. It's just a continuation of the original with the soft reintroduction of characters. For a sequel of a more slice of life series, it does its job well, and I love it. However, at the exact same time, I saw that a re-release of the original run was fast approaching, so I ended up nabbing that first, and my hopes were way too high. It was advertised as being a simple re-release with additional content, or lack thereof, because either they're referring to the rerun as a whole, or this was a straight up lie, because it was the exact same as the original. So yeah, the series hasn't exactly had the smoothest history, but finally, the sequel is within reach. And let's break it down. You see, it's a relatively common practice for fan translations to experiment with colorized panels. Due to the individual chapters being complete with color, I was under the impression the entire manga would be like this. I mean, there are fully colored manga front to back. It's unfortunate that this was not the case. Either it's strictly tied to Japanese printing, or it's more likely that the translator put in a lot of effort in this one. 2.5D Seduction handled things in a similar fashion. So that's number 1. 2. If we're basing this on what the internet claims, we were robbed of a chapter. Volume 1 consists of 5 chapters and a bonus chapter, while the available service for online readers claims that there were supposed to be 6 chapters for this volume. The average chapter count for the original one was about 6 per manga with a bonus included, and the first original volume had 5 chapters plus 3 bonus chapters. This is interesting. The next thing I want to mention is censorship. Now, this is common for scanslations. Plus-sized elf had a habit of censoring the good stuff while the printed copy gave us all that we needed. Look, guys, don't lie. Why do we read ecchi? Exactly. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a sour opinion on ecchi. You can give me all the babes you want. If a story isn't good, I'm not sticking through with it. But that's the fine line that makes a good ecchi. Plus-sized elf is great for its well-designed fan service and down-to-earth adventures. If you get rid of one of those, it just doesn't land as well. Now, I will say that this is strictly just for this case. For a series that was censored until print, only for it to be censored upon print, adds to the already existing inconsistency issues that followed this release. And it doesn't exactly help that the chapter that was robbed from us was a sauna chapter. Yeah, I know, grown man bitches because boobs. Come on guys, think about it. How many of the greatest atrocities in human history were due to underlying repressed sexuality? Okay, a couple of those were exaggerated, but the defense rests. Now, I'm not saying that the volume suffered from total censorship, because it didn't. It still had peak service, albeit rather limiting the kind of service we're usually provided. And just a final little nitpick, but as much as I prefer the revamped art style, the visuals seemed like they were made to be complemented in color, but were instead forced into black and white. That could just be because I'm used to it being in color, but going back and comparing the two, my views remain unchanged. Now, I'll give credit where credit's due. Every chapter in this volume was a 10 out of 10. It's the calm, wholesome fun that reminds us the series isn't written by a sick pervert, but a genuine author with specific tastes who cares about what they're making. If you're a hardcore fan of the series, I recommend you grab this. I will say that if you are new, I don't recommend starting here. Even for a series with no strict plot, this volume clearly sets itself as a reintroduction to familiar characters and layout. Starting here just wouldn't feel right. I recommend picking up the first original volume. There's plenty to determine if this manga would be right for you. And with that, that'll be it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, everyone.
That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me home. Oh, just let me home.